Welcome to Chunking and Rhythm. Like linking, chunking is a guideline, not a rule, meaning you don't have to do it, but you will sound more natural if you do. It is actually a reading skill and a pronunciation skill. So what is it? The word chunk means piece, and chunking is reading pieces of a sentence together or saying pieces of a sentence together. Let's review the basic sentence structure in English. Almost always we have a subject plus a verb in that order, such as she cried, subject plus verb. We often also have a subject plus verb plus object. She ate an apple. And we have something else, subject plus verb plus complement. What that means is when we have something that comes after the verb that is not an object, such as in the sentence, she is a doctor. Doctor is not the object of is. It's something that complements, that describes the subject she. And we have she is kind. Kind is an adjective that describes she, so it complements or completes the subject. It is not an object. So with chunking, we want to keep these parts of a sentence together, the subject and verb, and if there's a subject and verb and object, we want to keep those together, and if there's subject, verb, and complement, we want to keep those together. So that's where we're most likely to have linking. She cried, she ate an apple. She is a doctor, she is kind. Let's look at other patterns in English word order. When we have an adverb, we want to keep it close to its verb. So the adverb can come before the verb, or it can come after the verb. Look at these two sentences. We can say he ran quickly, or he quickly ran. We also want to chunk our prepositional phrases, meaning keeping those close together. A prepositional phrase has a preposition plus a noun phrase. So prepositions are usually small words, and they answer questions such as when. So we could say in the meantime, or where, on the other side, why, for the children. So here we have the prepositions in, on, and for, and they are followed by the noun phrases the meantime, the other side, and the children. So when we have a prepositional phrase, we want to keep it all together when we speak. In the meantime, on the other side, for the children. When we have a subject and verb in a compound sentence, we link those words together as much as possible. We take our breath in between the two. So if we have subject-verb, we might take a breath before and subject-verb. But we want to connect the word and or but, whichever word connects to the next subject and verb gets connected when we say it. So here we have, I ate and I left. We don't say I ate and I left. So the subject and verb, I ate, go together, and then and I left also goes together. Same thing for other sentences that use a coordinating conjunction. Now, this isn't a grammar class, but grammar does have a lot to do with pronunciation, believe it or not. So here we have the sentence, I fell, but I didn't cry. So that's where I would take a natural pause, is in between the two. I fell, but I didn't cry. If we have a complex sentence with a subject and verb, let's say we have the word when. He cries when he falls. So if I'm going to take a pause in that sentence, it's going to be in between those two parts of the sentence. I can flip this sentence around and put the when at the beginning. When he falls, he cries. So I'm going to keep those parts of the sentence together. And if I take a breath in between, it's going to be between those parts, those chunks of the sentence. It's the same thing when we have an object. So looking at a compound sentence, if we have subject, verb, object, and subject, verb, object, we would say it like this. I ate some apples and I left the bananas. So if I'm going to speak quickly and then take a breath, I'm going to take a breath in between those two chunks. Also, again with the word but. He likes bananas, but he doesn't like apples. And the same thing in complex sentences. If we have subject, verb, object, when, subject, verb, object, the when is going to go with the subject, verb, object after it. She crashed her car when she saw the spider. And I can switch that around. When, subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. When she saw the spider, she crashed her car. Do you see how I paused there? And the same thing again when we have subject and verb plus complement in compound sentences. We have subject and verb plus complement and subject and verb plus complement, which goes together. I would say she's a doctor and she's very good. I wouldn't say she's a doctor and she's very good. No, I want to keep my chunks together. She's a doctor and she's very good. We could also use the word but or another coordinating conjunction. She's very nice, but she's a liar. So I'm going to take my breath in between those two chunks, not in another place. And again, if I have a subject and verb plus complement in a complex sentence, then I chunk those together. He's happy when he's relaxed. Same thing if I switch it around. When he's a student, he's serious. Remember, we want our adverb to go close to our verb. Here we have a compound sentence. He ran fast and he won quickly. So fast describes ran and quickly describes won. So we don't want to separate those words from their verbs. He ran fast and he won quickly. He ran slowly, but he arrived early. Same thing in complex sentences. He sang loudly while he danced happily. When she studies hard, she learns quickly. And don't forget about prepositional phrases. In whatever kind of sentence they're in, you want to keep them close together. So I would say, in the end, she got what she wanted. Or I would say, the boys ran quickly to the store when they heard there was candy for sale. So I want to keep, in the end, close together, to the store, close together, and for sale, close together. And of course, if the prepositional phrase is in a complex sentence, it's the same thing. Everything in one chunk of the sentence goes together. But if you want to take an extra pause, you can do it, but make sure that your prepositional phrases are together. She screamed loudly in her car because she saw a spider on the dashboard. So I want in her car and on the dashboard to go together. I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, but I can't seem to function until I have my coffee with cream. So I want at 5 o'clock to go together and with cream to go together. So these are a lot of grammar intense concepts, but really, if you just get used to the patterns, it will be easier for you. And then later, the grammar might become easier. As always, listen and practice.